Hey, my name is Crispin Jensen, owner and founder of LifeStart Training. I have been on a mission for the last 5 years to create higher standards across Canada and create better consistency. So let's jump into first aid industry standards. It's 2021. Want to know how far we've come? Let's have a look at what the first aid industry looks like here in the Great White North. We're going to start our story out in 2013, when the Canadian Red Cross approached the CSA group looking to help create a national standard for first aid competencies and training right across all of Canada. In April 2014, the Advisory Council received strong support from regulatory members to create this national standard. So in October of 2014, 15 invited experts attended a workshop. The key themes that kept rising up during their meeting was status quo is not an option. We need better policies in place for all jurisdictions. If there was a national standard, it could be updated more frequently to reflect scientific, evidence-based recommendations. A national standard could ensure consistency at a national level for higher quality, measurable training. This wouldn't address all of the gaps, but it would certainly help tremendously. Significant resources would be required to create the standard framework and have the project advances, so we would need the money to do it. However, here we are now in 2021, 7 years later, and we are still struggling with national standards. Today in Canada, every province and territory can develop their own first aid regulations. So let's say someone takes a first aid class in Ontario and then goes to work in Alberta. Guess what? Oftentimes they will need a brand new certificate because it's not recognized interprovincially. This is a huge pain point, not only for employers, but also workers. Each province has the discretion to approve and accept other jurisdictions' certificates, but not having programs that are recognized interprovincially creates a lack of cohesion between everyone. So talk about confusion when it comes to traveling for work. It's been 7 years and we are still trying to find solutions to a national problem. So what are we doing about it? We are pushing for change. We are creating a new way that first aid is taught. We've been asking participants, the people who are taking the course, what can be done better? How can it be delivered to the end user in a more efficient way? What are the learning styles that work best for them? Not surprisingly, almost every participant said hands-on demonstrations, better equipment, and more time to complete the 2-day in-class is preferable. Now let me be clear, more time does not mean to make a training session 4 days. It means let's space it out so we aren't cramming 16 hours of information into 2 days, just trying to remember enough to get an 80% minimum on a mandatory test. Stay tuned for part 2 of First Aid Industry Standards, and if you have any suggestions, please feel free, as always, to drop us a line.